Hi, it's Lady Mina with the tutorial on the arrays. We're going to start with the element types. You've got water, wood, fire, yin, and yang, and then you have 4 types of servant available: warrior, therapist, guard, and strategist, and those can be categorized as elite or non-elite. Levi is an elite. He has a higher level cap, he has different star colors, and it says warrior on his tag. He deals damage. That's what warriors are for. He has an AoE attack, so he does damage to multiple enemies. You can see he's got 4 stats: HP, attack, defense, and speed. HP is his health. Attack is how much damage he deals in each strike. Defense is his defense. He actually has a low defense compared to his attack. That's because he's a warrior. That's pretty common with them. And then speed determines his order in the attack in battle. That's really important. You want to pay attention to that. But in general, warriors deal damage, therapists heal, guards protect, and strategists buff. That's the 4 things that these servants do. You need one of each in your array in order to create a good team. So elites versus non-elites, or shinies versus everybody else. You got 2 basic categories for servants. There's 6 levels of servant: 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star evolved, 5-star non-elite, and 5-star shiny. So the 5-star evolved are the ones you created by evolving a 4-star character. They are fodder, basically. So you're going to want to dismiss 2 stars. 3 stars you keep to evolve to 4 stars, and 4 stars you evolve to 5-star fodders. 5-star fodders do not level up past that, so that's it. That's the end of the line for them. You use them as food to evolve 5-star non-elites and 5-star elites. So you can see here that I can evolve Lu Shen from 4-star to 5-star, but that's it for him. He no longer has an evolve button after that. UFA, however, has no cap to him. He can evolve endlessly because he's an elite. So you can see the elites versus the non-elites. The non-elites have gold stars, but the elites have rose gold stars. So that's one of the ways to tell. They have a higher level cap. You can see Lu Shen is 5 stars, but he only goes up to 80, while his UFA goes up to 240. That's only his cap for right now. He actually goes up higher than that. There's no 4-star version of UFA like there is for Lu Shen, but most importantly of all, elites are shiny. They shine when you look at them in the collection or in this box, and you can turn that off in game, but I don't recommend doing so because you might accidentally get rid of some servants that you really need. This next portion of the video is going to cover the larger parts of the array, and for that we need video. So we're going to go into servants, and we're going to go ahead and cover the main servant page. So this is your servants. You can see up here that these are the current servants that I have. You can see down here how many I have and how many I can have. So I'm at 172 out of 295. If you need more servants, you can buy for more servants in your bag. They're organized by water, fire, wood, yin, and yang. Collection is how many servants, which servants you have ever gotten. So you can see that I have pulled every single water servant that is in the game. I've pulled every fire servant. I've pulled every wood servant. I have not pulled every yin servant or every yang servant. That does not mean how many times I've pulled them, just if I've ever had them. So if you're wondering if you have maybe dismissed an elite that you should not have, you can check your collection. And if you don't have them in the servants tab, but you do have them in collection, that means you dismissed them. It is pain to find out you have dismissed an elite. You can see all of the elites also are shiny. When you go to the collection tab, they're organized really nicely. You can see there's 5 elite water servants, and they all shine, and in this tab they are all also rainbow. And you can see their levels here, the color of their stars, their 4 skills, whether they're active or passive, what type of servant they are, and their HP if you get them up to level 240. You can also hear their voices, which is a new feature. I'm actually going to play Li Bai's voice. Does anybody else think he sounds like Wei Wuxian? Because I think that might be the same voice actor. I have no way of Googling it though, because I don't speak Chinese. So that's the Servant tab and the Collections tab. If we go down here to the bottom of the screen, we can see Manage and Array. From Manage, you have two tabs on the right-hand side for Dismiss and Evolve. So we're currently on the Dismiss tab. And I have a few servants that I could dismiss. These 3-star servants can go. You can see all of your servants here. They're when on the Dismiss tab, they are ranked from lowest to highest, because ideally you would only dismiss 2- and 3-star servants, and maybe the occasional 4-star if you're really desperate for these umbrellas. Here, let me dismiss some more Yaners. These guys right here. This is the Servant Shop token. You can use them to trade for servants in the Servant Shop. That's really difficult to say. And we'll get to that in a minute once we cover where to get servants. That'll be covered in part 3. So on the evolve page, you can see I have some characters that I can evolve. I can evolve Huangzhang here from 4-star to 5-star. And in order to do that, I need 3 dupes of him. See that right there? And then I need 5 other 4-star servants and 4 3-star servants, and then I can hit evolve. And now he is evolved into 5-star. I can also evolve Wu Song. It's the exact same thing, where you need enough dupes. You can just, it's easy to evolve them from the evolve page. You can also evolve them from the servant tab. If you go down here, and if I were to click on Lu Zishen, you can see evolve, and it takes me to this tab, which tells me I need 1 more of him, 4 more 4-star servants, and I have enough 3-star servants, but I don't have enough dupes of Zishen. So that's how you evolve and dismiss your servants from the Manage tab. Now we can go into the Array tab, and the Array tab has a lot going on. So you can see up here, it's written my Array buff. I have a 3-2 team, so that means I get an additional 20% of my attack power and 25% HP. If I come in here to the Array bonus, I can see all of the different element bonuses that I can have. So Yin and Yang servants are special because they actually add 1% HP and attack just for being on your team. You can see I have 0 on my team, so I get 0 attack bonus. But if I were to go over here and I were to take out Lady Hebe and substitute Gui Guzi, you can see that my array bonus has now changed. I have the 3 servants of 1 attribute bonus because I've got rid of one of my fires, and I have 3 waters, so I still receive this bonus, but you can see that I now have 1% attack and 1% HP bonus added to my score. You can see up here it says 17 and 21 instead of 16 and 20. So if I go ahead and get rid of another servant, and I just replace my entire team with Yins and Yangs, which I'm not going to do permanently, you can see that my array bonus has changed again. So even though I have a 5 yin yang team, my buff has not actually gone past 2025. I'm not sure if that's a glitch or what, but I'm supposed to receive also another bonus on top of that bonus. This is why the yin yang teams are so powerful, and also part of the reason why a 5 element team does better than a 2-3 element team, because the yin yangs that you have increase your strength. I'm going to put my team back. I'm going to come back over here, and we're going to cover the rest of these buffs. So we've got 3 servants of 1 and 2 of another, so that's the 2-3 bonus, and that's 20 and 25 attack and HP. 2 servants of 1, 2 and 2 is 8% attack, 10% HP. 1 of each servant is 10% attack and 12% HP. 3 servants of 1 is plus 16 attack and plus 20% HP. 4 servants is 25 and 30, and 5 servants is 30 and 36. Now, you might look at that bonus and think that the 5 servant team is the strongest team available to you, and in some cases it could be because of this array bonus, and you should not underestimate the array bonus. It's actually very powerful, but I will tell you that when you fight with an all-fire team, for example, you may struggle quite a bit against teams that are heavy in the element that restrains fire, which I believe is wood. We're going to cover that in a minute. But when you have a team of only one element, you lose some of your plasticity, and it becomes harder to fight teams with a majority of the restraining element. However, you do gain a significant bonus against teams that your element restrains. So, personally, and even looking at the top 10 and top 20 on my server, the people who have the strongest teams have the one servant of each attribute team. And in theory, a 2-3 yin-yang team or an all-element yin, all-element yang team are the strongest teams available. However, yin and yangs have such a low drop rate that they are almost impossible to get unless you want to blow a lot of money. So, generally speaking, avoid a yin-yang team and go for a 1-5, which would be one servant of each attribute, or a 2-3, which I have. So we're going to cover restrain next, since I mentioned it earlier. So water restrains fire, fire restrains wood, wood restrains water, and yin and yang restrain each other. So what this means is that I have a 2-3 wood water team. I am quite strong against wood teams, and I am strong against fire teams, but I am weak against, well, half of my team is strong against wood teams, and half of my team gets absolutely destroyed on wood teams, which is unfortunate because I have majority water. So when I am fighting against a wood team, particularly Han Xin, my Li Bai, who is my warrior, and my Luo Shen, who is my strategist, and my Da Chao, who is my healer, get killed almost immediately. This is bad because they are my power horses, really. Shang Yu holds up fairly well because he's powerful against wood, but by himself, he isn't much. So this is the issue that you face when you have majority element teams going up against each other, is that restraining gets in the way. Now, yin yang is not part of the wood, fire, water restraint system, but yin yang teams are incredibly powerful on their own and difficult to counter, so there's a reason they're separate from everybody else. That is to say, though, if you did have an all-yin team and you went up against an all-yang team, you are going to be having a very hard time. Likewise, if you have an all-yang team and go up against an all-yin team, it's going to be very difficult for you to fight them. And you will go up against all-yin teams and all-yang teams in story mode, because that is usually the team you have to battle for the 20th level in each chapter. That's pretty common. So if you want to see how your team performs against all yin and all yangs, just look at how you fight against the level 20 teams. So the next part that we're going to cover is array. So this says change array, but for our purposes, we're going to call this the formation, because the entire thing is your array. The servants that you're using and this formation make up your array, in addition to armors and jades that we will be covering in a minute. So this is the formation page. There's 6 different formations that you can use. You've got yin yang, which is this right-facing arrow. You've got 4 image, which is the back-facing arrow. 8 diagram, right-facing T. 5 element, left-facing T. You've got the 7 star, which is 5 points. And Tai Chi, which I like to think of as the shield. So each of these have different things that go with them. However, the game has not made it entirely clear what actually they all do. As far as we can guess, they change who attacks first, they change who gets attacked. For example, some servants attack everybody in a single row first. So they send their attack directly down the center row, which if you're using this one or this one, that puts exactly one servant in the center, that servant is often annihilated. So if you are facing an enemy that blasts attacks straight down one row, you may want to keep in mind that you should use a different formation type. Now, if you are facing an enemy like that, obviously you would not want this one, because if they're shooting fire straight down the center line, all 3 of these players are going to get attacked. These also seem to have something to do with the Concubine skills, which unfortunately I can't explain what the interaction between them is. The only things that I've noticed so far is that this array seems to work well with sorcery, and this array is good for defense, and this array is good for offense. But that might just be for my team. I'm not entirely sure. The strategy that I use when going through story modes is to select one formation and one skill. So we'll say hail and this formation, and then I will fight that level. If I fail, I change my array, or I change my formation, and I keep my skill the same, and I fight that level again. And if I fail, I change my formation again, and I do that until I pass the level. Does it take forever? Absolutely. Does it work? Yes, because once I've gone through all 6 formations, if I still fail the level, I move on to a different skill and I start over with a different formation. It's unbelievably time consuming, but it works. So that might just be the method. Now to go over Concubine skills. So Concubine skills, you have 5 of them. You have sorcery, thunder, wind, hail, and illusion. Mine are maxed out. Well, sort of. So the probability of my attacks working is maxed out because I have them fully upgraded. And we'll go over and I'll show you where to upgrade these in a second. You can see that I have a 50% probability to decrease my target's defense in sorcery. 50% probability is, at this point, the highest probability that your attack is going to work. What this attack actually is when you're entering a battle mode, and we'll go fight one in a second, this is the attack that the MC does herself. So this has a 50% chance of decreasing the defense of the other team by 12% for 2 rounds and 20% for 2 rounds. The 12% and the 20% are not maxed out because I actually have more that I can upgrade. I have more levels that I can add over in the Concubine skill tab. So for now, only the 50% probability is maxed out. So sorcery decreases defense. Thunder decreases the target's crits. That's very useful against yin-yang teams because they hit a lot of crits. Wind decreases the target's treated effect. That's also good against yin-yang teams because they do a lot of treated effects. Treated effects are the... how should I put this? They're like poison or other sort of things like that in the game world where it sticks to your character and it decreases their health incrementally over the rounds, or it decreases their ability to fight, or it locks them up or something like that. Think of Luo Shen's ice when she freezes her enemies. That is what a treated effect is. So wind decreases those. So if you're fighting against somebody with a lot of treated effects, you may want to use that. Hail will decrease their attack. That's very useful if you're fighting against a high attack team. And you would know it's a high attack team by watching the battle and seeing what happens to your team. If they're decimated pretty much immediately by by one single attack and their HP goes down a lot, that's how you know you want to use hail. Illusion decreases their control hit and their attack. I don't know what control hits are. There are a lot of these things that are simply not explained at this moment. So for now, we're going to just move on. Now, I would not say don't use illusion just because you don't know what it does. I would say absolutely continue to use illusion because it does do something. It does pass levels. I just can't explain to you what it does. So how do you level up Concubine skills? Well, you need to go back over to the capital, into title, and then you need to go over here to this pile of notebooks, Concubine skill. So you can see over in the upgrade page, mine is fully upgraded. I cannot get any higher than that. However, I can power up. And you can see how many of these Concubine tokens I have. I have 3,000 of them, and I need 5,000. And I also need 11 million gold, 11 million coins. I think that's 11 million in order to level up my Concubine skill again. I need more Concubine tabs before I get to that. How you get those is in your salary every day. So every grade has a different level of tokens that you receive in your salary. If we come over here to position, we can see them. If you're number one, actually there's a range of salaries that you get depending on what your rank is within your grade. So you can see here that Eve, who is also on the Discord server, she's very nice, has a salary of 120. And if we go back, or I'm sorry, a salary of 150 every day. If we go back down here, we'll find me eventually. I have 120. If I go into Concubine War and I attack somebody, I should also get some tokens from that. I do. I get 25 for every time I attack, which is how you really get these. The daily salary is nice, but it's not the main way you're getting the concubine tokens. Promotion is how you level up. Since we're already on this page, we may as well cover a little bit that's not about the formation. This is where you go up a grade level. So you come in here and you register for promotion. Since I'm grade 1, I'm registering for supremacy. So that is for the Empress position. Wish me luck. I have yet to get it. So I need 20 million coins in order to register, which I will hopefully have later today. This is an automatic thing. So you register in the morning, and at night, at guest time, everybody fights. And it's an automatic fight. You win or lose depending on who you're fighting against. And at the end of it, you get an imperial notice and a test record. So you can see the time is 19 o'clock for the first fight of supremacy. 19 o'clock for me here on the central time zone is 10 p.m., 9 p.m., something like that. And it's just an automatic fight. You either win or you lose, and then you move on. If you win all 4 of your fights, and it doesn't come down to a tiebreaker between somebody else who also won all 4 of their fights, then you will be Empress. However, the other fights don't go like that because you're fighting for a position that has multiple openings. So for the grade 1 and below tests, as long as you pass in the top 3 to 5, then you will be promoted up a level. Concubine Authority has too much going on for me to go into. I will cover that in a separate video. But that's basically how you get concubine skills leveled up. Now, I did forget something back over here in the servants tab that's incredibly important. You can lock your servants. See, that's locked and unlocked. What that means is when I went into the evolve page, you may have noticed that some of my servants were grayed out. No, sorry, in the dismiss page. In my dismiss page, some of my servants are gray. Whoops, please stop breaking. So you can see I've actually grayed out all of my elites, and that's because they are not available for dismissal anymore because I locked them, except for UFA because I don't need him for my team, and I absolutely will be using him as fodder later. These servants are now locked. I cannot dismiss them. I also cannot transform them. If I scroll over, you can see that they're also locked. That's because transform would change them and they might not be elites anymore. So that's how you save your elites from getting accidentally dismissed, is you hit the lock button. I wish I had known that earlier in the game, but I did not. So what's next in here that needs to be covered? Well, there are a couple of other things. You may have seen this button here. It says reborn. What that is it takes away... We'll just go ahead and level B in here. So I'm going to top level him. And now he's level 120. And if I hit reborn, you get 1 free every day, and for the rest of them you have to pay for it. But I get back absolutely everything that I just spent on him. It did not change his evolution level. He is the stars that he is. It does not matter if you reborn him, he will keep those stars, which is unfortunate. You cannot unevolve a character if you needed that. Once they're evolved, they're stuck that way, but you can get your points back. You can get your coins back, you can get your EXP back, you can get everything back except for that. So let's go on to the next thing that you might find in this page, and that is armors and jades. Shh, Levi, quiet down. So I have here a set of Uranus armor, and I have gold Phoenix jades. So that's not the top level. I'm working on it, but the next level up from Uranus is Mars, which Shangyu has. Now, I want to point out a couple of things with the armors before we get into how you evolve those. There is a set bonus for having a full set of armor that is actually more powerful than having individual pieces of stronger armor. So you can see that when he has 2 pieces of Mars armor, he gets an HP bonus of 11%. When he has 3 pieces, he gets an attack bonus of 15%. And when he has all 4, he gets an HP bonus of 6%, meaning that his HP actually goes up by a total of 17% just for having this full set of armor. It also increases his attack by 1400. And it increases my power score by 2,000. This individual piece, this whip right here, increases the power score by almost 3,000. And that's my power score up here. You can see it's 4.3 million right now. So this robe increases it by 4,000 and it adds 10,000 HP to him. Now I will show you, let me just remove some of his armor so I can show you on somebody else what I'm talking about with the armor bonuses. So we can see without any armor and his jades, his power is at 853,000. So if I add a Mars whip and a Pluto robe, a Pluto cap, and Pluto boots, his power goes up to 900,000. So I added 50,000. I'm not going to reborn him. That's the wrong thing. And when I look at the set bonus, I'm not getting any set bonus from Mars, but I am getting these 2 set bonuses, which is much lower than the Mars bonus. But of course, the Pluto robe is much lower than the Mars robe. Now, if I change these boots to a higher power boots, actually, I want to change them to Neptune boots. So now I have 3 separate sets here, and I'm not receiving the set bonus, and his power is 888, which is lower than it was when I had the Pluto boots. See, there's a set bonus right there. So I got stronger boots. I got the Uranus boots and the Mars whip. Those are very powerful items. However, because I lost my set bonus, my overall power went down. If I hit arm all, it's going to give him his strongest setback. And you can see he's at 955,000 with that bonus. It's very important, even if you have a lower quality set bonus than your individual pieces, you are having a stronger servant for having that set bonus. That took me a long time to figure out. It's really important. Now on to the jades. Jades are complicated. So jades are complicated, and I'll probably have to make an entirely separate video at some point on the jades. But for now, what you need to know is that higher level jades are better, and I would not waste recasts on any jade below gold because it's just sort of a waste. You can see that I have for him, for Shangyu, this jade that has 2 skills and this jade that also has 2 skills. What you want to keep in mind for jades is they are a method of strengthening and compensating for your servants. There are a lot of different jades. If we go back over to the bag and we go to special, you can find your jades here. If we go into combine, we can look at the skill view. There's 3 levels of skills, and there's like 100 of every skill. So we're not going to cover all of them because we'll be here all day. But I will cover a couple that are very good. Survive is a revive jade. If you have survive in any skill level, you have a chance of bringing your servant back to life after they've been killed. That's an incredibly important jade, and I recommend having those on any players that have low HP or are killed quickly. Bless is another revival jade. That one's also very good. Spirit is for if you have a character on your team that revives, like Da Chao or one of the yins that does that, or the yangs that does that, then this will be helpful because it boosts their revival. However, that does not revive your player or your servant. There is another one of these that does revives. Does it resist? No. What is it? That's just not very good. There's another one of these that will revive you, but it'll revive you as a ghost, and most of the time you just stay a ghost. Like, your character doesn't actually come back from the dead, they're just stuck that way. Is it spirit? I feel like it's spirit. Shoot, I'm not sure which one of them it is, but one of the two good revives are survive and bless. So if you can get that skill, Jade, then I would go for it. There are a couple of others that are very useful. You just basically want to, when you're doing the recasts, you want to just read this and look at what the skill is and not just whether or not the Jade's power has increased or decreased, because you may be looking for a specific skill. So if we take a look at Zhengyu, the skills that I have for him, if I pull up recast, I can see them. I have agile that ups his speed, and his speed determines his attack order. I want my warriors to attack first. I want them to hit first, and I want them to hit hard. So I've upped his speed in the hopes that he will attack sooner. I upped his strength because he is a warrior and I want him to do more damage. Over here, I have decreased crit damage because I want him to survive longer, and I have rage, which increases his damage by 20%. I did not give him a revival Jade because he's got a lot of HP already, so he doesn't need it. And I like the skills that he has better. If we come over to Li Bai is another warrior. I have another skill that increases his power and his damage. And I have this one that increases his HP. And I have this one, Annihilate. There's a 30% chance of stopping the target. This one is very good. If you can put this on a warrior servant who has an area of effect attack, that is, he attacks everybody on the other team, this is a very, very useful one because it prevents the other team from reviving for 4 rounds, which gives you a bonus in terms of fights. Anti-crit is just another one to protect his health. Somebody has a revive Jade. Yeah, okay. So Da Chao has pretty low HP in terms of, well, she actually has higher HP than anybody else, but that's because she has this Jade on her. Because Da Chao is my healer, I need her to survive the longest. I gave her a revival Jade because I don't want her to die. She's the one who revives everybody else. So be strategic about your Jades. You're basically compensating for things that your characters don't have or strengthening the skills that they already do have. For now, we'll leave that at that. If you want to power up your Jades, if you want to evolve your Jades, you need to come to your bag, go to special, and then come to combine. I don't have enough. I don't have 5, so I can't add all of my green Jades to evolve them. I can add 4. You can see my odds have dropped to 70% of getting a blue Jade. 70% is pretty good. I'll do that often for the green Jades. I won't do it for any of the other ones because I don't want to run the risk of... Okay, see, yeah, so I have 3 of these and my odds go down to 40%. I would not do 40% on a pink Jade because I don't want to lose those blue Jades. You really just want to get as high of a level of Jade as you possibly can, because the higher they are, the more likely they are to have advanced skills and middle skills over primary skills. This is also why I don't bother to recast Jades that are not in the gold category, because the cost of recasting is actually very expensive. You can look here that I need 1,500 Jade debris and 750,000 coins to recast this Jade. You can also see that I can recast it 23 times to gain a rare skill. That is not something you get with the other lower levels of Jade. So gold Jades you can recast, and if you do it enough times, you are guaranteed a rare skill. That is why gold Jades are the ones you really want to recast, and you want to save up these Jade debris in order to do it. You can get Jade debris a bunch of different places. You can get them from the store. You can get them from treasures sometimes. Common treasures will spawn it in. You can get it from training. One of these gives Jade debris. Yeah, this one. So you can get 300 Jade debris extra. Or, well, you get 600 every day just by doing the training. So you can get another 600 if you pay some gold for it. And a couple of other places. I think you get jade debris from different battles and things like that. I don't think you can buy it in any of the shops though. But that's jades, that's armors, that's reborn and lock and all of those things. So now we can go on to part 3 of this video, which is how to get more servants. Where do you get more servants? Buckle up, we're going to be here a while. So we're going to go ahead and start with the recruit function. So recruit gives you, there's 2 different types of recruit, right? So we've got, this is called advanced pool, and this over here is common pool. So common pool uses cranes. You get cranes every day from your friends list. So I already collected them for the day, but I could send cranes and I can receive cranes. You can see here that my friend sent me some cranes 5 minutes ago, and if I were to get it, I would get 5 of them. You get a total of however many. I think you collect 100 of them every day because the maximum friends list is 100. So that means you get 500 cranes just from here. You can get them when you go home and somebody's in your house, but I already collected them. There'll be a little gift bag. I feel a sneeze coming on. I really hope I don't sneeze. So if we come over here to visit and I go over to my friend Yoon, I'm going to collect that herb because I need it, and I go sit in their house. I got a Welkin cap, so you can collect armor from here as well. We'll go into where to collect armor after we're done with collecting cranes. Actually, I should have gone into armor first, shouldn't I, when I was covering armor. But we'll finish up with the cranes for now. So you can collect cranes from visiting friends' houses. You can collect cranes from watering their plants. So you can see I just got 4 cranes. You can collect cranes from cleaning sometimes. Often cleaning gives you coins, but sometimes it'll give you cranes or XP. And you can also collect cranes from the store. So this is the basic shop. I don't have any cranes in here right now, but I do have 3-star and 4-star servants in here. This is a great place to collect fodder servants, servants that you need to evolve other servants. I'm going to hit my refresh here, and we can see that I have Lee Yu spawn in for 1.8 million. And 4-star servants are usually for gold, but sometimes you can get them. Yeah, so 4-star servants can either be coins or gold. I suggest buying all of the coin star servants that you need. You can also buy armor here. I don't recommend buying armor for gold because that's kind of a scam. Buying armor for coins is also sort of a scam unless it's coin week. Really, the best place to get armor is from your guild and your guild shop. So you see I've got a Zhang here I could get for 1.8, and I'm actually going to buy him because I do need more fire servants right now. And you can also get EXP here. You can see that my EXP has evolved. My shop has evolved so much that I can pay 20 million gold for 4 million EXP at this point. And you can also get more refreshes for 20 gold for each refresh, and you have 100 chances a day. So if you're missing anything, you can purchase it from here. So while we're in the shop, let's go ahead and cover... Well, no, let's go back to recruit. So that's the cranes. You can also... So you can pull for cranes. And if I had 1,000, I would pull... Oh, you get them from errands and friends. Okay. Right. The errand shop also has them. I never get cranes from the errand shop. I find the errand shop is much better for gold. So for 1,000 cranes, I can pull 10 servants. I'm not going to do that because I don't have enough, but I will pull 1. So from the common shop, you really don't get powerful servants. Majority of the servants that you're going to pull in here, you can see the details. You have a very, very small chance of pulling elites. You have a much higher chance of pulling 2-star servants, which are pretty much only for dismissal. You only dismiss them for EXP and coins. They're not really worth anything. 3-star servants get you the umbrellas. You want those, and they're used for evolutions. 4-star servants are used for evolutions and for dismissal. And then you have a very, very, very tiny chance of getting an elite or a non-elite or a 4-star from the common pool. However, it's really good to pull in the common pool because you do need a lot of fodder, way more than you think you do. So don't miss out on that. And then over here, we have the advanced pool, and that uses recruit tickets. Recruit tickets has a much higher chance of getting elites. It's not high. I wouldn't say it's high. Like you have 0.008% chance of pulling Zeddy in here, but it's higher than the common pool. This is the one you're going to be doing a lot of pulls in. It's 2,000 gold for 10 pulls for me right now, or 10 of these tickets. I don't have 10 tickets, so I can't pull 10. I recommend pulling 10. Officially, it doesn't change the drop rate, but I find that pull 10s give me better servants. It might just be my imagination, but I like to pull 10s. So you have a certain percentage of, so 4.995% chance of pulling these guys, 15% chance of pulling this, 80% chance of pulling these. So again, you're going to be majority pulling 4 and 3-star servants, but you do get a chance to get these guys from in here. And then the exchange function is for only VIP 3 players. It's $15 to reach VIP 3. If you want to rank, you probably should go to VIP 3. It makes everything a lot easier and it makes it a lot faster to play the game and level up. But it's not necessary if you're not ranking player. Just to play the game and pass the levels and enjoy the story and collect the outfits, you absolutely do not need to be a VIP player. I am because I wanted to rank, because I want to be Empress, and for that you do have to pay. But that makes sense. I can't fault them for that. Every 1,000 pulls, every pull I get a certain points. So I believe it's 20 points for one of these. So I went from 50 to 70. So yeah, 20 points for one of those. And if I pull one over here, I got 70 to 72. So these are only worth 2 points in the common pool, and these are worth 20 points. And when I get to 1,000 points, I can exchange for an elite 5 or for a 5-star servant. It's not necessarily going to be an elite, but it will be a 5-star servant. So that's a VIP 3 bonus, and it's definitely worth getting. So that's the recruit pool, the crane pool covered. Now we're going to go over to the elite pool. The elite pool requires elite pull tokens, elite papers, and you can pull direct water servants. Now the majority of the servants that you're going to pull will be 4-star servants. However, you do have a high chance of pulling a non-elite or an elite. And I very much recommend pulling in these, depending on what team you're building and what team you're building in the background. So just keep in mind what you need more fodder for. Oftentimes I'll pull like Wang Jiaojun. So I have a higher chance. I feel like you get a lot more of these 4-star non-elites than you do of the elites, but it's still very useful to do. So I recommend pulling in that, but not only for those servants that you get, but for these ginkgo leaves that you will get. I can't click on them? I can't. Okay, recruit points. So the recruit points, I just call them ginkgo leaves because that's what they are. They're gold ginkgo leaves. You spend them in the elite pool. For 35, you can get an elite of your choice from water, wood, or fire. And for 45, you can get an elite of your choice from yin and yang. Yin and yangs are more expensive because they're more powerful. So you have to pay up for them. But you get 1 ginkgo leaf every time you spend an elite paper. And you can get elite papers in a lot of different places. I'm not going to go into how to get all of the elite papers because there's just a million different ways to get them. We'll probably cover them as we pull all other servants, but basically you get 3 of them every week just from Concubine War and Palace Fight. So if we come over here to Concubine War at the end of the week, if you've done 60 fights, you get an elite paper. And if you go over to Palace Fight and you come over to the chest, if you've done 120 Palace Fights and 90, you get 2 from here and 1 from Concubine War. Those are really useful. You can get them also from advanced treasures. You can see it pops up down here. You can also get full servants from here. You can get a lot of servants from the treasure pulls. I definitely recommend pulling a lot in these because you can get a lot of servants from in there. You can also you can't get recruit paper from in here, but you can get PK paper. So that's the recruit pool and the elite pool. The elite pool also has transform. Transform is really useful if you're missing a dupe of somebody. So I need another of these Miyues, so I'm going to try to transform him and we'll see what I can get. Ideal method of using transform is you save up for like 300 or 400 of these, and then you just do all of your transformations at the same time by going to transform and then I should maybe turn that off. Somebody has sent somebody a maple leaf. There's another one. So that blocks off my screen, but that's really nice. That's somebody's having a flower war. And how do they have so many of these maple leaves? So you get 200 or 300 of them and you hit transform, and then whether or not you get the person you want, you're going to spend the coins. So we're just getting no more reminders today. And I got Li Mu, so I'm just going to hit confirm on that one because I don't care whether I have Huang Zhang or Li Mu because both of them are fodder for me. But if I were going for Miyue specifically, I would hit discard and then I would do it again. That way I know I'm transforming the same servant constantly, because I think you have a higher chance. I think the chances of getting an elite compound as you use the same servant repeatedly until you get the one you're after. So that's how you use transform. You can't transform to get elites, but it takes a long time, and it's more useful if you use it as a method of getting fodder that you need over getting elites and dupes. So where else can you get servants? So from the treasures, you can pull 4-star servants, usually from in here, and you can pull elites from in here, and non-elites. It's tough to get them. If you're going to try to go for one of these, the drop rate for it is really low. If I pull this up, I can see the drop rate. So for the common pool and the special pool, you can see that you only have a 2% chance. I only have a 2% chance of getting Kai Wenji. If I was going to go for her, I would probably save up like 50 of these and then go for it, because you can just keep pulling in the same page until you eventually get that character. So that's what I would do if I was going for that. I almost never go for that because it doesn't work very well. I pull in here so that I can get elite papers, because elite papers give you a guaranteed chance at an elite by spending ginkgo leaves. So where else can we get servants? While we're on this page, we're going to go over to training, and we're going to go over to elite debris. I recommend sweeping this twice every day, because once you get up to Abyss 2, you get 2 shards of a 5-star servant. Today, you can see from my chat box down here that from the random servant debris, I got Li Bai. So I absolutely recommend getting a lot of these. It's also a great way to farm for fodder. So that's this part of the elite debris. Let's go ahead and cover debris while we're at it. If you come over here, you can see I've got my Zhang debris from earlier. I just hit the total recruit button, and that recruits everybody. For a long time, I was recruiting them individually, and that's enough to drive you nuts. So these are the debris. You can see I actually have some 5-star elite debris. You can only purchase this from the event, from any event actually. They all have it in the event shop. So if I come over to exchange and I scroll down far enough, you can see there, right there, I can buy 5-star elite debris, and that's a guaranteed 5-star elite. You can only buy this in event shops, and I usually use up the last bit of my event currency on the last day to purchase that. And then eventually one day I'll pull a 5-star elite. Where did I get the rest of this debris? I got this debris from the Zhao Yun event. I got this debris from the Zhug event. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get rid of those, because those servant pools are gone now, and you don't drop debris randomly for 5-star servants. You just get 50 at a time. So that's a bit of a pain, but I have them. I got Diao from one of the shops, and I'll show you which one in a minute. And the rest of these are just random pulls from various things. And these 3 I've been purchasing from my guild shop. So the guild shop has 2 tabs. You've got store and you've got trophy. You use trophy to get debris. You can see here that I have 1 trophy left for the week, and I think I'm going to go for fire. And I can apply for that. You can see that there's 240 debris left, and 2 people have applied. That means I'm guaranteed to get that. If I were to apply for yin, yang, or yin yang debris, I might not be able to get it. You can see right here that 3 people have applied for yin yang debris, but there's only 2 left in the shop. Someone's not going to get it, and that's something you need to pay attention to when you're applying for these debris. You can speak to your guild chat, and if coordinate that if you need to. If you have a lot of people in your guild and you're all going for the same thing, you may want to talk about alternating weeks or something, but that's how you get those debris. Now the store. The thing about the store is it's not a shared resource. My store is my store. What I buy from here is mine and mine alone. What I get from Trophy, I share with the guild, but the shop is mine. So I can sold out, I can buy all of these items, and everybody else also has all of those items. This is a great place to get the last piece of armor that you need to evolve to the next level. It's quite expensive though. So I only use this when I need exactly one piece left. Like this Uranus cap, I needed one more, so I bought it from here because that's the best place to get it. The best place to get armor in general though is over here. So I'm going to sweep this fight, and you can see how much armor I got from just this battle. And I actually have the ability to unlock the next one. I can unlock my fight with the Empress because I am high enough level in my guild to do that. And so now everybody can fight her. And she also drops a lot of armor. I very much recommend sweeping for gold in here if you want to level up your armor faster, because you get 20 or so pieces every single time you fight one of those players. So you can get servants and armor from the guild. It's an underutilized resource. You absolutely should go in there and do that. Let's go into the shops next. There's a lot of places to buy servants, not just the main page. If we go into items, you can see you can buy 5-star debris for 60 gold and elite paper for 1,000 gold. I would not. That's kind of a scam. What's not a scam is getting this PK paper for 14. If you're low on PK paper, absolutely recommend doing that. The PK paper for 20 gold isn't as good of a deal, but it works. And that's what you can get from the items page. If we go into the points tabs, there's 5 point types, and each of them gives you different things. So you can see you can buy debris here for 1,000 points. These are fight points. You get them from the palace fight page. As long as you do 120 fights every single week, then you are almost guaranteed to get this extra elite paper once a week. So that brings up the total amount of elite papers you can get weekly up to 4, sometimes even 5, because I do a lot of fights in there. So that's what I use this page for. You can also get Diao and Mulan. If you're going for a yin-yang team, absolutely do it. Go for it. Spend a lot of PK paper, get a lot of points, get Diao and Mulan. You can get 10 of their debris every single time. This is a good resource for that. I just use it for the elite paper because I have a wood fire team or a water fire team right now. If we go over to treasures, this one is expensive. It takes a long time to get up enough currency to purchase from the treasure shop, but I absolutely recommend it. I'm currently saving up for Li Bai. You get treasure points from the treasure shop, and you only get 10 treasure points for every ticket that you spend, and that's the same whether it's gold tickets or common tickets, which is a shame because the gold tickets I think should give you more treasure points, but for right now they don't. Now there is a place to get more common treasure. You see my victory. I've got a whole bunch of pieces here of armor from the guild shop. I'm going to go back over here and actually sweep this fight as well. And I'm going to go ahead and sweep these also because I will get a lot of armor for this, and I need to upgrade all of my armor still. It's holding me back because I didn't realize how powerful armor actually was back in the beginning. Where was I? Treasure shop. So treasure shop exchange, it's incredibly expensive because every ticket is only 10 points. So it takes a long time to get 12,000 points to buy Li Bai. However, there is a way to get quite a lot of them. If you go over to the 7-day task and you go to the bonus bag for day 6, you can see for 1,000 gold, you can purchase 40 of these tickets. That is not the VIP bag. I want to make something clear here. When you are in the 7-day tasks, there are 3 bonus bags. Every day you receive 1 bonus bag for completing that day. There is a bonus bag for free-to-play players and a VIP bonus bag in every single day. So there's the V3, the regular one, and the bonus one that you can purchase as a free-to-play player. Absolutely, I recommend purchasing this one at least when you get the chance. If you are low on treasure tickets, absolutely purchase this because that's 400 treasure points. This is only 50 treasure points, but the gold tickets get you better prizes. So if you need to, that's really expensive. 2,500 gold is not as good of a deal as this is over here. These 40 treasure tickets are very, very good if you're buying from the treasure shop because of how expensive the treasure shop is. So we're going to go back in. We've got battle points. Battle points you can only get from guild battle. While we're here, we're going to cover fate stones. If you are into purple stars like I am, you need fate stones to evolve your characters. So you can see I have 10 out of 10 that I require. Basically, even if you rank first in the number one, if you rank first in guild battle and you're in the number one guild, you could still only buy like 2 of these every week because they are that expensive and you need 10 of them to evolve your players. It's basically a method of curbing the speed at which people are playing the game and evolving, because you need a lot of those and you can only get 2 a week. So it basically slows down the people in the top and keeps them from getting so far ahead of everybody else as to be unbeatable, which is nice. I actually kind of like that. It's pretty good. You get battle points from there. You can also get the battle costume from here. As you can see, I already have it. I recommend getting the battle costume. She does have some benefits. Every costume that you complete, everything that you get in this game adds to your total power score. So if you're behind on power, definitely collect some more costumes because they increase your general power. So that's fate stones. I also usually buy an elite paper from here because I need a lot of elite papers. I rely on the elite ginkgo shop quite a bit for my needs. You can also get cow here and Wuzetian, but they're very expensive. Basically, if you're buying these 2 debris from here, you are not getting enough fate stones to level up. So that's the trade-off with that. Date night has another outfit. It also has elite paper. That's very expensive, and generally from in here, I buy these water debris. I buy these 3 debris from the date shop because even if all you do for date night is show up and collect, you get about 1,000 date points every night, which means that these are very affordable debris, but the elite paper takes like a week and a half to get. Costume points you get from costume battle. As you can see, I do not have costume points because I don't like costume battle. It's difficult, but you can get more debris in here. And you can also get these 2 yin yangs, and they're very expensive. Oh, the Empress is online. If you're ever wondering what that phoenix is when they fly across the screen, that's the Empress has just logged on. So if you ever become supremacy, if you get the Empress title, then every time you log on, a phoenix will fly across the screen and let everybody on the server know that you just logged in. I love that feature. It's so fun. And I can't wait to be Empress so that everybody can know that I have entered the room. But this is the costume, so you can get elite paper from here, Long Ling debris, and Chungzi debris. I will be purchasing this at some point after I have completed this outfit. It's going to take me a very long time to complete this outfit because costume takes forever to get points up from. That's over here in multifunction costume battle. If we go over to award view, you can see that every day you get about 120 to 500 of these costume points, and then weekly, the weekly score you would think is a cumulative score, like that is if you've held that title the entire week, then you get this. No, that's actually if you hold the title the night that like Sunday night, when the rankings reset for the week. If you are number 1, that means you get that 5,000. You can also like them for some coins, but you only get 4, or 3. So I don't like costume battle. I feel like there's something slightly off about that. Nope, wrong thing. So we're going to go to the shop. We're going to hit servant tab. Servant tab you get these from dismissing servants, as we mentioned earlier, and you can buy entire elite servants in here. I'm currently trying to get Da Chao, and every servant will give you a different amount of points for dismissing them. So if I go into manage and I go to dismiss and I dismiss this 1 water serving, see I would get 12 for that. If I dismiss let's go into wood, I have a lot of them. If I dismiss a 4-star servant, then I get 37. If I dismiss a 5-star servant, it's going to tell you got a 5-star if you want to dismiss it. You get about 250, 260 for dismissing a 5-star servant. If you are not using one of the elements. Like I'm currently not using wood. I will sometimes just dismiss 3 of them in a row so that I can get a lot of servant points, so that I can get the servant that I want from the shop faster. So you can see now I've got about half of what I need to get Da Chow, and I need Da Chow. So that's how you get servant points. I don't recommend buying these guys because servant points are kind of expensive to get. I really only use them to purchase elites. Okay, so if you're going for yin yang debris, you actually can pull them from the clothes shop. Every pull you get a chance of getting an item, you get a chance of getting the clothing that you want, and you get a chance of pulling yin yang debris. So you can see the odds here for everything. You get recruit paper, silk satins, coins, and yin yang debris. Definitely if you want yin yang debris, pull in the wish pool, but the wish pool is really, that is one of the more expensive things in this game. And I think that's covered all of the places that you can purchase with in-game currency servants. Now you can also buy them for real money. Oh, you also get every month you get one non-elite servant. So this month I've got Chang Yao Jin. This is just gold. This is the growth fund. It's $15 and you get all of this gold here. So if I were to activate that right now, I would get 24,000 gold. I'm saving that for a special day. If there's ever an event that if there's ever a servant that I desperately need to pull from the servant recruit pool, or like a new event servant, I'll be activating that to get that, because this is a one-time event, but I'll get, once I reach this level, I'll get like 30,000 gold from that. So that's definitely something to keep in mind if you are a VIP player. You can also get servants in here. So this is that's not servants, that's just a pool bag. This is the servant bag for $100. You can pull yin yang servants. If you are made of money, go for it. I am not made of money, so I will not be doing that. You can also get, for $100, a straight up elite servant, but not of your choice. These bags, you choose which yin yang servant you want from here. So if you want to spend a lot of money, you can. And you can get servants for doing it. Look, here's another one for $100, and this one contains almost all the elites. You can choose from you can choose from wood, water, and fire here. And this one was for yins and yangs. The weekly gift shows up on the weekends. It just gives you gold. I've got a flash bag, but that's not servants. I feel like there's more places to buy them, but since I never buy them, I don't know where they all are. But that's basically where you can pull all of the servants. And I hope that this has been helpful. I hope you all have a better understanding of how the game works and how the arrays work. The last thing that I want to do is I want to watch a fight that I will lose, because I am not powerful enough to go up against this team. And I know this because I've tried all week and I cannot defeat them. And I just want to go over what you're looking for in a fight. So let's go ahead and set this to the T-pose, 8 diagram, and I'm currently on hail, so we're just going to leave it, and we are going to watch this fight. I have my fight set to 3 times speed. I can surrender and quit at any time. You can see that I'm going up against an all yang team. So like I said, the level 20s, the last one in each chapter, is going to be the hardest fight because it's going to be yins and yangs that you're going up against. You can see, if I come over to status view, you can see these are the status effects that I was talking about. You can see Levi has already died. These are the things that you want to go up against when you're using your skills, your concubine skills. You want to pay attention. You see, I told you yin yangs use a lot of these buffs, a lot of these status effects, and you can see that I have been killed immediately. Da Chow has just revived Levi and he's dead already. I am not strong enough to defeat this team. But hopefully pretty soon I will be. So this is also how you can see which of your characters need more HP and which ones need more attack and which ones need more defense. And after you've studied a couple of fights, you'll know which jades you need to give them and who needs better armor and who needs what skills. So just watch your fights go through and study them. That's really the best way to know what your team is missing and which servants you need to pull, which servants you need to upgrade, all of that. Hopefully this has all been helpful.